Good morning, everybody. I am Tony PARROTT, the Executive Director of the Metropolitan Sewer District, and on behalf of Mayor FISCHER and behalf of the MSD Board and the MSD team, we want to welcome you to a ribbon cutting for the Shawnee Park Basin Combined Sewer Overflow Basin. I don't know if you recognize, but the last couple of years has been pretty rainy around here, and we dialed up some special weather for you today. Of course, you know, when it rains, obviously MSD has to go to work, and so one of the things that is so important about this project is that when it does rain, the Combined Sewer Overflow Basin, which is a 20 million gallon basin, which is located in the Great Lawn behind us, is hard at work at protecting the Ohio River, the park, and the neighborhood from combined sewer overflows. You may not realize it, but the basin is below the grassy field behind us. There's about 12 feet of dirt over the top of it, and it is invisible to the public. And so when we first started this project, it was one of the first challenges, or I should say golden nuggets, that I had to deal with when I first came to Louisville 3 years ago. They said we're going to build a basin in the Great Lawn, and I was very terrified. There was a lot of resistance and a lot of pushback and a lot of concern about what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And so it took a concerted effort for us to work with the Olmsted Conservancy, the community, Louisville Metro Parks, Metro government, and others to make sure that this project could move forward. It's a part of a consent decree for us to control combined sewer overflows, and it's the one of 4 final basins that we are completing as a part of that project. We have another basin that's being constructed over in Portland. We just opened another one at Clifton Heights about a month ago, and we're continuing work on our deep tunnel system, which is running from 13th and Rowan downtown, 200 feet below the city, up to Lexington and Grinstead. So all of those projects are projects that are tied to the consent decree projects that we're responsible to do. As far as this project here, one of the things that we had to do is have a concerted effort to reach out to the community to make sure that they understood what we were doing, why we were doing it, and so we set up a stakeholder process. That stakeholder process carried on throughout the construction of the project, and we had to make a commitment to this community. We had to make a commitment that not only we concerned about doing an MSD project, but we wanted to make sure we were making an investment in Shawnee Park. So the fact that we were working in the Great Lawn, we also had to commit to do some other things. And so we made that commitment, and working with Marty Storch with Metro Parks and others to come to an agreement that everybody could support. So we ended up with the pavilion, on which you are standing under right now, with some restrooms in the park. We also ended up with refurbished basketball courts, which I think the Dirt Bowl starts this weekend. So that's for the 50th anniversary, I think. And we also did some refurbishing of the Paul Hornick Fields and some other restoration. We repaved the inner loop of the park system as well. I want to thank Ullman Schutte. Ullman Schutte, if you're out there, raise your hands. They were a part of our design build team. This project has been nominated for Design Build Project of the Year in the nation. They put together a team of folks along with Burgess and Neipel and along with Eric Brown, who led our stakeholder process, and Brown and Caldwell, who was sort of our project representative. We had a great team of folks that shepherded us through this project. So how about a round of applause for all those folks? The other thing that I want to point out about this project is that, you know, when you think about making a $78 million investment, you want to make sure that there's economic inclusion. And one of the commitments that we got from Ullman Schutte was that we would have local labor utilization, and we would have economic inclusion for minority-owned firms and women-owned firms. So basically, for this project, we reached 83% local labor utilization. What does that mean? That means that 225 Jefferson County residents worked on this project. And so I know a lot of times contractors will tell you, well, we can't find work, we can't find local labor. Well, we did. And so that we're very proud of that. We're also proud of the utilization. We had 21% minority business subcontracts, and one of those contractors was Joe Ash Construction. Mr. Joseph Scott is here with us today, and also Springfield Plumbing. Both of those folks worked on this project, and we also had 14% women business subcontracts. So we appreciate the opportunity for economic inclusion on this project. We also want to thank the MSD board. The MSD board was very supportive. We have Cindy Caudill, our board chairman here, Mr. Dan Arbo, our vice chair, in terms of setting the stage for the policy that would allow us to maximize local labor utilization and economic inclusion. And we want to give them a round of applause as well. We had to work with Metro government. We had to work with Metro Council member, former Metro Council member Sherry Bryan Hamilton, current Council member Donna Purvis, and of course I mentioned Marty Storch and also Jason Canuel from Metro Parks. All of those folks really worked with us collaboratively along with the Olmsted Conservancy District. So this project is, from my perspective, sort of a model that I think can be used as a legacy project, because there's other major projects going on in our community, and we have the opportunity to make sure we can use this as a model to ensure that we not only benefit what MSD needs, but we benefit what the community needs in terms of creating jobs and creating economic inclusion. So a big win for the team that put this project forward. We're very excited about opening and cutting the ribbon today, and we want to thank you all for being here, and especially we want to thank the neighbors, community, all of you that dealt with this during construction, with the dirt and the noise, and thank you for coming out tonight. I know a lot of you participated in our stakeholder process, and so to the community, we want to make sure you understand that when we make a commitment, we want you to know that MSD cares, and we will deliver on that commitment. So with that, I want to introduce to you our great mayor of our city, Mayor Greg Fischer, who's also a big supporter of not only MSD, but also Shawnee Park. So, Mayor Fischer.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Tony. I want to say how much I appreciate the good work of MSD each and every day. Critical work to the safety and economic vibrancy of our city. So thank you, Tony, and to the entire MSD team. Cindy and Dan, thank you guys for shepherding the board in such an effective way. I appreciate that. So when I think about this project, I think about all of the community interaction that took place to make this happen. These basins are huge. I mean, it's basically underground the size of this lawn out here. So finding places to put them in the community is not easy. You have to purchase property frequently to do that. You have to disrupt lives. So the question came before us is, well, we've got a lot of land that we own already. When I say we, I mean each one of us here, the citizens of Louisville. So can we figure out an efficient and value-added way so we can use our own property, so we don't have to use your money, the citizens' money, to buy a new property? So we said, can we put this in Shawnee Park? You know, as Tony said, these are strategically located throughout the city to deal with these heavy rain events that we're having now due to climate change. So the process began, and there was more than a little bit of uncertainty and skepticism on the behalf of the public that we were going to come in here and really disrupt Shawnee Park for 2 to 3 years or so. And this is a beloved park. I think this is one of the great parks in the entire country. Many of us have ties to this park through our families, through the Dirt Bowl, through the Turkey Bowl, whatever it might be. Shawnee Park oftentimes is the epicenter of our entire city. So to envision the lawn, the great lawn being dug up, nobody envisioned the size of that dirt pile that was out here as well, and just say, what in the heck is going on over there? Well, we got through it. We said, let's make this. It's a good win-win for the citizens. Some of the economic benefit that came off of this allowed us to significantly upgrade the home of the world-famous Dirt Bowl, just to the left of me over here, with nice new courts, a legit scorecard, giving it the kind of home that it deserves as one of the top 2 outdoor basketball tournaments throughout the entire country. So that was a great benefit from it. I'm really proud to be joined by JANIS Carter here today, one of the 2 founders of the Dirt Bowl 50 years ago. I hesitate to say that. Janice was -10 when she thought of this idea, but really appreciate Janice and Ben Watkins. Ben couldn't be here today. But those 2 were Metro Parks employees at the time, 1969. It was a time of kind of turmoil in the city. They said, let's come up with something that brings the city together. Well, what do we love here? We love basketball. So this idea that they created led to the Dirt Bowl, which of course now is known all throughout the world. Probably wouldn't be if the voice of the Dirt Bowl wasn't so effective. That's Cornell Bradley right here. Cornell does such an incredible job for the Dirt Bowl and for our community. So Corn, thank you very, very much. We appreciate that. And then the pond's going to be restored and all that. So the point is, there's a lot of good can happen, Annie, you know, when we all work together and have a positive attitude about what is going to take place. But you got to make good commitments and you got to keep them. And that's what MS does day in and day out by saying, okay, it's a big plan, it's a big project, almost $90 million. That's a lot of cash. You know, so a lot of work came through here and a lot of good product came out of it. I love this particular basin because of the addition of this feature right here. Some of the basins have above ground buildings which are not as attractive, so to be able to build this into that and have the entryway underneath of us here and have this wonderful plaza up here is a beautiful thing as well. So nice job on the value add with the engineering of this project here. Okay, so nobody wants 2 feet of water in the garage. I get that. So let's get through this right here, and then we'll chat with you about that, okay? So there's a couple other things that are taking place here. One is, we see Bennett Knox here. Bennett is running the West Louisville Outdoor Recreation Initiative. That's part of our big effort to make sure that we're providing nature-based experiences to children that live all over our city, and particularly this project is focused on Shawnee Park. This is obviously one of the Olmsted parks. We're one of a half dozen cities blessed in the country to have beautiful Olmsted parks throughout our city, joined by the Olmsted Parkways. And Olmsted Parks Conservancy is a beautiful and strong partner for our city, so we appreciate that very much. So this is how we're supposed to get things done, by working all together. Then we've got a few other projects. Tony mentioned those, the Portland Basin, which is going to open later this year, and the Waterway Protection Tunnel. So when you think about that, that now is one of the country's greatest engineering projects that's taken place. This project starts at 13th Street and goes all the way out to Lexington Road. So when you in Lexington and Grinstead. So, and we're what, Tony, 200 feet underneath of the ground. Yeah. So instead of having a basin like this, that's what the purpose of that tunnel is to provide that type of reservoir for the stormwater runoff. So it was do that or close down Main Street for 3 years. So that was an easy decision to do there. So this just, I think, serves us as a reminder that public infrastructure like this is really important. Without it, it disrupts lives. Like this young man's got 2 feet in his basement, and we don't want that. So we got to figure out how to take care of that situation. But all over the city, we're having challenges, as I said, because of more rain happening in a short period of time, and that presents all kinds of challenges for us. So this project's evidence of us, I think, being able to work smartly and creatively as a city with lots of wins for all people involved. One of those is involving some of our great community entrepreneurs in the project. When we talk about economic inclusion, to me, it's like, well, why are we even talking about this? I mean, what we have to do as a natural course of event for anybody that does work, whether it's private sector or public sector, is make sure that everybody is involved with the economic success of our city. But historically, that has not taken place. So it's important that today we do what we can do to make sure that does take place. So we set specific targets around minority participation, female, veterans, et cetera. Fortunately, we've got a great entrepreneur in Joseph Scott, also known as Buckets. He's known as Buckets because back in the day, he had a very good jump shot and was one of the best high school players in the region. He's still pretty good for an old guy. So he's transferred his skills to building a great business, Joash Construction. So with that, let's hear from Joseph Buckets Scott.
Good morning, everybody. All right, Barry, you gave me a little props. Just left the gym this morning, though, getting buckets. But first of all, I just want to thank God for this opportunity that he used MSD for. Just want to say that MSD, the policies that they have and for minority participation is a great thing. I know in the past we say that they want minority participation and they go after certain goals and they don't get attained. But on this project, it definitely did happen, and I just want to thank MSD for their policies. And then secondly, I want to thank Ullman Schulte, part of the design team, because they gave me the opportunity to. Ullman Schulte is one company that you can hear how people say other companies over the years say, well, we couldn't find anybody or we couldn't find minority contractors or female-owned. But let me tell you this, Ullman Schulte is a company that don't even talk it, but they walk it. And they actually did it on this particular job. So I want to give my friend Eric, where's Nick at? He didn't raise his hand. Nick, they from Ullman Schulte, they gave us an opportunity, the very slab that you're standing on, they gave Joash the opportunity to do that. Your tongue and groove in this pavilion, the roof. We also refurbished the basketball courts at the Dirt Bowl. And those courts at the Dirt Bowl are nowhere matched, nowhere I can safely say in the state of Kentucky. Those are pro cushion courts, the rubbers. So that's a lot of money that MSD has invested in our parks. Plus, and next I want to thank Marty Shorts for Metro Parks, how he helped put this together. So just wanted to say that this project has helped me grow my business. It's helped me reach out here in the community because I live right over here at 4700 West Broadway. So they gave me the opportunity to bring local people here from the community and be laborers here and team up with Ullman Schulte. So this project is not only did a good thing to help our water system, but it's also put money right back into the community that they're working for. And you don't find that going on. You see press conference and you hear people say they're gonna do it, and then when you get out there, it don't happen. But this project, it happened. Amen. So the people back in this community got money. It's guys that came right off Cecil Street that we had opportunity to hire. Right off 43rd Street, we had opportunity to hire. Right off on 44th Street that I had an opportunity to hire on this project. So MSD, thank you, Tony, for you all changing your policies to overcome some of the things that we had to overcome in the past. And most definitely thank you, Ullman Schulte. We want you back. We don't want you to leave because you all don't just talk the talk, but y'all walk what you talk. Amen? And that's what we need. We need people to be more honest in what they're doing and give people opportunities. All we didn't ask for somebody to do anything for us. We just asked for the door, the opportunity. Ullman Schulte, MSD, this project has opened that door for Joash Construction. And I just want to thank you guys. All right? Amen. So I don't know who's up after me, but this has been a great project. Oh, okay. Now, let me do this. 1, 2, 3, testing. We have power. But no, let me give you turn this over to CORNELL, the voice of the Dirt Bowl.
Well, you know, if you're gonna hear it, you might as well hear it right. That's what I'm saying. Let's give it a test. Testing 1, 2, 3, and 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have power. I'd like to say good evening to everyone, and I definitely want to thank MSD for the job they've done to the whole Shawnee Park, but also what they have done to our dirt bowl court. There's no question it is the top, and I mean the top basketball outdoor court in the country. And I say that our court is even better than the one in New York, Rutgers Court, even though we rank behind them in basketball. But I don't care because they don't have Corny Coin down there on the mic. Yeah, they don't have the best basketball announcer in the country, and I say that is me. And I say that without question. I have not heard a basketball announcer better than Corny Coin, and I say that hands down. And with that, I am about to give it up. You know what I'm saying? I want to say thank the MSD for all the positive work they've done here in Shawnee Park, and thank them definitely for what they have done to our dirt bowl court. Thank you.
Thank you, Cornell. Let's bring somebody up that's a little more humble than Cornell Bradley, Janice Carter, founder of the Dirt Bowl.
Good morning. I was invited to come down here as being one of the co-founders of the Dirt Bowl. And we are very proud of this park. I was raised on Cecil and Garland. And the West End has been my home, except when I went away from home. But I'm proud to be back and that this is finally done. We've got a beautiful court over at the Dirt Bowl. As you can see, we're celebrating our 50th Dirt Bowl season this year. And we want the community to support it, and the community got behind this. And I hope that everyone is pleased, and that I see that it has worked out, that commitments were made, commitments were met. And on behalf of the Dirt Bowl, we thank you for our beautiful court. And the tournament, the court has Cornell's name on it. And it's also, I think we got an honorary mention. It's the Ben Watkins Janice Carter Dirt Bowl.
That's it.
Okay, and finally, I want to recognize staff that was involved with making this project successful from the very beginning. With all the stakeholder meetings and the public outreach that we did. John Lockley, our Director of Engineering, was very active in that. Where's Mr. Flaherty at? There he is, project manager, doing the whole construction. Thank you for everything that you did, working with our community. Angela Ackridge, our chief engineer, and Cheryl Lauder, our communications manager. Thank you all for everybody. And Sandra Gibson, our business and community administrator. All those folks working together, keeping the commitment, talking to the community, and this is why we're here today. So I think now we're going to cut a ribbon. Thank you.
All right.